Whether you're looking for answers to specific life questions or seeking to become the best version of you possible, welcome to the Mental Breakdown and Psychreg podcast, where we offer insight, information, and strategies based upon research and years of practice as clinical psychologists. So sit back, have a listen, and get connected with our hosts, Dr. Berney Wilkinson and Dr. Richard Marshall. Welcome back, Richard. The last day of our articles on video gaming, and today we're going to start out on a positive note. We're going to talk about schoolifying Minecraft without ruining it. That's the name of the article from NPR that we're going to talk about, again, from earlier this month. But basically, we're going to talk about the use of video games in learning.
Right. Can we use this very compelling technology in an educational setting?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we can use it, but does it have any benefit?
Right. Mm-hmm. So the idea is that, and what some of these folks were doing, where they were using Minecraft, a very, very popular game.
Is it ever?
and using it as a model for in an educational setting.
Right. It's sold 121 million copies. Now, considering there are 50 million school children in the United States, that means it's gone beyond our borders, or people have more than one copy. But
and adults buy it as well.
I know, but why?
Well,
it's a building game.
But there's a couple things to think about, and I'll help. There's that many millions of children. However, there's many times more than one child in one home, but they may only have one copy.
Right.
So yeah, it certainly has broken through our borders.
Right, but 121 million copies.
That's a lot of copies.
Is a lot, no matter what. Okay,
yeah.
So it's wildly popular. Kids who play it voraciously.
Yeah.
Parents tell me that that's all he wants to do.
Yeah.
They have to use it as a bargaining chip. They say, well, you can't play Minecraft during the week, but if you do everything we ask, you can play on weekends. Right. And so it's become wildly popular. I don't know the age range. I think most of the kids I see who are elementary school, who are Minecraft players, are elementary age students. Right. I don't know whether it retains its popularity later or not.
Yeah, I know some older kids who play it as well. But what some teachers have done is they've taken Minecraft, that game, that model, and adapted it for a classroom setting, and sometimes very creative in imaginative ways, and seem to feel as though it's doing pretty well to keep kids engaged in, like one example is they use Minecraft to do dioramas and to do presentations, and so they can sort of do an archaeological dig and those kinds of things in Minecraft so that they can present that to their class, or keep the kids engaged and interested in the topic while they're playing, basically.
What I understand about Minecraft, as youngsters have explained it to me, it's sort of like electronic Legos.
Yeah.
And SimCity. It's like a combination of those two that you can build things. And the appeal of it is that it becomes, as you learn how to use it, it becomes more and more sophisticated.
Correct.
So the more you play and the more you learn, it's able to do more and more and more and more. Right. So it's like there's no end to the possibilities.
Right.
And so when we talk about dioramas, we used to build them in shoeboxes.
Yeah.
I say we, my children, when they were in school, they would have to get cotton and sticks and stuff, and they'd put these little models together. Now you can do that electronically.
Right.
Okay? It serves the same purpose.
Right.
Okay. But you don't have to go to the art supply store to get everything the night before it's due, and build these things. So you can use Minecraft for that. Well, that's an obvious application of it. Are there others?
Sure. There's other applications. Again, I like the idea of using them for presentations. I like the idea of using them as ways to creatively present other information. So if they're doing a project or they have to talk about a particular topic, some teachers are allowing the kids to use Minecraft to sort of build what it is they're talking about, sort of like dioramas, but in more expansive ways, to be able to demonstrate some of those activities and topics that they're looking at.
So it's not applicable across subjects yet.
Well, yeah. I mean, here they were saying that teachers. Here's a line from the article. Teachers are using Minecraft in every imaginable subject, from literature to social studies to math. Build a 3D diorama of an archaeological dig, retell a Japanese folktale, test bridge designs in different materials. And her students build video games within the game.
Okay.
So this the sort of flexibility of the game Minecraft allows them to do all kinds of different things.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had that much flexibility. I knew
it does.
I know that kids go deeper and deeper and deeper into it because you keep learning new features, new capacities that it has. I didn't realize you could.
I had a little boy that was here the other day who it was funny. He there's a hack, I guess, meaning that meaning that there's something you can do. You can call it a hack, or sometimes they're called glitches, where if you do something in particular, something happens that is not anticipated. Something happens that either just kind of messes up, or anyways. There's a little hidden thing, I guess. If you name a sheep, if you name it Jim, I think it is. I think it's Jim. Anyways, I don't play Minecraft, but I think it's Jim. If you name a sheep Jim, it will change colors.
What will?
The sheep will start to change colors, and so it'll go through all of these different colors. And so he had this idea while we're sitting there talking, and he built this tall tower and everything, and had
was he on an iPad?
Yeah, he was on his iPad and had the and put these clear blocks, because you have different types of blocks that you can use. Made a box with clear blocks and put a sheep in it that is changing colors, and he said that he made a disco ball. He used it to make a disco ball because it was changing colors. So the creativity is fantastic, that you can really start to stretch and figure out different ways to do all kinds of different things. And this is just Minecraft. There's other games and other things that can be used. I remember years ago there were other types of video games that were really breaking into education. There was I remember one of the early ones was a Donkey Kong game. It was a Donkey Kong math, and so you're I think you were Donkey Kong Jr. and you're trying to climb these vines, and you had to solve math problems to be able to get to the top. And if you were incorrect, you would fall down and you'd have to start again. So and you had a timer and all that kind of stuff. So it's the use of video games in education isn't new,
right?
But it is certainly growing because of the popularity of video games.
And we're going to get better and better.
Oh, yeah.
The games are going to become more sophisticated.
Yeah.
The application. I'll tell you one of the things I like about this whole project is that Minecraft, which was purchased by Microsoft, and for Microsoft it's a financial issue, it's not an educational issue, but they have hired teachers to translate to translate from the video game to educational applications, and that I appreciate. So, what do they call that? A shout out to Bill Gates or to Microsoft for employing teachers to make this translation. That's a positive.
Yeah.
But once again, I think the message for parents is, let's not be afraid of these video games. There's so much positive that we can do with them. I think it's a baby in a bath. Let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
There may be some disadvantages, but goodness, there are lots of reasons for kids to become good at it. It reminds me of the cell phone battle that we have with children. Kids need to have cell phones to stay connected to each other, and kids need to know about video games to be able to have conversations with their classmates.
Yeah.
Okay. If you want your kids to be relating to others, when we were growing up, we would come back to school and talk about TV programs that we were watching.
Yeah.
And so you would be part of the conversation. Well, if you didn't have a TV or you weren't allowed to watch it, you couldn't be part of that conversation.
Right.
So I think we're at the same place with video games now, is that you probably should let your kids participate in the culture.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And because it's not going anywhere.
No.
You know, it's only going to
That
get
we know.
more involved. And you know, there's because of the culture we live in now, you know, that type of competition, that type of competitive approach to things is everywhere. And so, you know, teachers, educators in general, they're going to continue to use that as a way to create motivation and to push forward and to, you know, to get more kids more engaged.
And it's only going to get better. You know,
Right.
it's like TV. 50 years ago, TV was small and limited, and today, my goodness, you can. It's a rich culture if you want to.
You know, and talking about technology in general, you know, the school that my son goes to, they all of the students have iPads,
Right.
And you know, I know that there were originally concerns from a lot of parents about, you know, you're giving these kids iPads, and you know, sure, they have cases and stuff like that. So sort of the damage to the iPad notwithstanding, they were concerned about the access the kids are going to have to the internet and to different things, and what if they cheat and all that kind of stuff. The technology has gotten such that one guy sitting in a room can, you know, hit a couple of buttons and everybody's iPads turn off.
Right.
Or everybody's iPads stop on that screen that they're on right there, and they can't do anything else. So they can limit access to certain things. They can limit access to different apps and different types of apps and those kinds of things. So it's the technology is getting to the point where we can maintain more control over that stuff than there's something called Apple Classroom, I think is what it's called. And so a teacher can sit up front with her iPad, his or her iPad, and can see what is on the screen of all the students' iPads. That's the way I understand it. I haven't seen it, but a teacher was explaining it to me, and that's how I understood it. If that's the case, that's fascinating.
Right.
That's amazing to be able to do that. So the technology is certainly getting to the point where, you know, a lot of the concerns that we've had for a long time really are starting to fade.
Right. This is happening in college classrooms.
Yeah.
About, I don't know when it was, maybe it was 15 years ago, 10 years ago. There was an article in one of the professional journals that law schools were starting to prohibit students from bringing computers into classrooms because they would sit in the back of the class and they wouldn't be taking notes. They would be shopping or surfing the internet. And so many law schools just said, you can't bring them to class. My son had a friend who went to boarding school 10 years ago. They weren't allowed to bring their computers to the study halls. They could go back to their room and use them, but they couldn't bring them to study hall for the same reason. Last year, I started to worry because my students seemed to be on their computers more than they needed to be during class.
Oh, when you're teaching.
Right. And when I asked them about it, because this was a group of really serious students, I didn't have any problem with them. And so I decided to ask them, and I said, it bothers me that you're on your computers. What are you doing? And they said, we're looking stuff up that you're talking about.
Yeah.
I was absolutely stunned.
Yeah.
That took care of it for me.
Yeah.
When I would mention something, if they didn't know about it, they would go to their computers and they would look it up and they would inform themselves at that time.
Right.
I thought, what a good idea.
Yeah.
You know? And so, as you said, it's not going anywhere, and it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
So instead of fighting it, let's learn how to use it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. Is that it?
I think so.
That's it.
We could do another week on this stuff.
There's
At
a lot more to
least.
talk about.
So,
but tomorrow's podcast, if you're listening to this the day it comes out, which is Friday the 25th, if you listen to tomorrow's podcast, it's with it's our interview with Dr. Jamie Madigan, and we kind of go into a little bit more detail with a lot of these things.
Right.
And again, he's kind of looked into a lot of these. He's read a lot about this. He's written about this. A great book. So, you know, we'd encourage you to come back and check that out. So.
Right. Yeah. Take a look at that book. I have to take another look at that book now that we've done this week.
Absolutely. So, all right.
So, and the best, well, nobody else cares. The best news is I'm going to play video games.
You say that with the inflection of a question.
It kind of is. It is still a question. It's a question. I don't even know. It's a question.
I'll help you.
You have to help me.
I'll help you.
Okay. I need a teenager to help me.
We'll start with, you know what? We'll start on your phone. We'll play Plants vs. Zombies.
Can I play it on my little phone?
Yeah. You don't have a flip phone anymore, so.
I know, but I have a little.
Yeah. No, you can play it on
Okay.
on your phone. So.
Okay.
We'll start out with
I'm
Plants
excited.
vs. Zombies.
I'm excited about this.
It'll be great.
My students will be shocked that I know something about
You're gonna be like,
what's happening to you?
that game is from like 15 years ago. No, it's not that old. No, it's not that old.
Okay. No, I'm excited. I'm excited for my vision.
I'll let you guys know how it goes. So, all right. So that's it. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and forget to be afraid.